Hey, what's going on? Just want to come on here today, and this is sort of like a diary of kind of things. I've just been going through this process where I've been watching so many social media people, how to promote yourself, your business, niching down, but I'm like multi, I'm just talking. I'm just randomly talking. I don't even think I'm going to post this, but just to get some practice down, I've been really focused on human design. I've kind of been on this spiritual path for years. It's 62, almost 63. And I came across human design, if you're not familiar with it, by a gentleman by the name of Ra Uru, came out, God, 30 years ago, maybe. And it takes I Ching, Kabbalah, quantum, the horoscope, and kind of intersects all of these things. It's basically it's a program of mechanics, how to operate correctly within the matrix of things. And for myself, I think there's five. Yeah, there's projector, reflector, manifestor, and generator, and a manifesting generator. Okay, I'm a projector. I'm an emotional projector. 1-3. I'm still learning about it, right? Um, and I've just found myself so, and maybe you get this too, where you're just, we've got all of this data, all this information coming at us, and it's like picking one thing, right? Like that book, The One Thing that's going to make the change for everything. Or, if I do this one thing, it will help everything else that I'm doing, right? So I've got a couple of days off at work. I usually work at this pizzeria here where I live. Um, and what I love to do is help others. I'm a medium, I'm a dot connector, and I'm a curator of health and wellness information, and also spiritually, energetically. It's kind of like a hodgepodge of everything. And in the past, when I've worked with clients, I'm clairaudient. I can hear, I can feel, I can sense, and I at times can see. It just depends on the person. But I try to package myself with doing all these things. Like I'm not like a one-trick pony. Like it's not cookie cutter. And so I'm really trying to find, based on my strategy and authority. So my strategy is I have to wait for the invitation. Not like someone has to give me a formal invitation, go, hey, Josh, we'd love for you to show up and talk to us about some shit that you know, right? So it's like, I'm always just trying to find the person that I can relate to that doesn't have to believe or accept everything I'm saying, but just that we're on this same plane. It's not that they have to acquiesce or be submissive or agree with anything. But I've noticed there's like this magical thing as a projector. And my authority is I'm an emotional authority, means I have to ride the wave of my emotions, basically. Which means when I'm up, right, I can't really decide on big things. Like, it's not like where to go or what to eat. That those are minor things. Major things like buying a car, a home, getting in a relationship, stuff like that. And I'm just actually coming on the camera now so I can get used to engaging in the camera because, like I said, I'm kind of jumping all over the place. I was doing TikTok shop, but I think the thing in my life that I've noticed after all these decades and years is consistency. Or I've been consistent in being inconsistent. I start something, I drop off. I start something, I drop off. And I don't really want to rely on AI to provide me insights. I know a lot of people are using ChatGPT and Claude and all these other Google things, and it's just not. It's not, to me. That's not part of the organic, natural, primal Christic with a K. That's another area I can get into. Just the evolutionary process of things. Technology is not where it's at. As much as it provides ease and comfort and saving time in some areas, I think it really diminishes and it depletes our multisensory abilities, right? It's like if you get a new car, and it's got a camera and it's got these sensors. So if you're driving too close, or even like these self-driving cars, right? Like the Teslas and all these electric vehicles, that stuff in the long term depletes our own inherent multidimensional capabilities and abilities, talents, gifts, skills on a much higher level. What am I getting at here? I know I'm rambling and I tend to jump from one thing to another. I need to have like a sheet to keep me on point, right? So what I'm sharing with you here, I don't even know if I'm going to post this. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. And if you can relate to any of this, I'll just say drop a comment below. I don't know. Let me know. Because I watch not a lot. When I have the time, I'll go on YouTube. I listen to podcasts. I'm always looking at what the latest thing is. And there seems to be a theme. You know, people are getting studies, they're doing research, they are, you know, the veils are thinning over the decades, years. We've seen more truth and exposure coming out about the nefarious ones. And to me, this is more than just three-dimensional people and groups and Illuminati and all that stuff. That's so far down it's just it's a pittance. To those that are new to this, it's like, oh my God, it can be a mind-altering experience because it's like you've never heard of something like this. How could anybody want to do this, right? And my point is that there are things going on beyond this realm on a galactic cosmic level because of who we are and what we're about and what we're capable of, the angelic human, okay? And this goes beyond religion, and because the game, there's two things that are happening on this planet. Again, I'm jumping around, I know. Sorry, but stay with me. There's two things. The oldest game in the book is divide and conquer, right? Create different groups, belief systems, ideologies that separates people, right? Just look at Facebook or anything similar to that. You know, people do a video and everyone's got an opinion because we're all sparks of source. We're all sparks of God, whatever you want to call it. Even if you're atheist or agnostic, you don't want to believe, that's okay. And the other part is quantum energy. Energy is food for those that see themselves as limited or finite, immortal. That's not the way we are. Eternal. The original angelic human is eternal. We basically, just like breath, we're here 1 minute, we demanifest, transmigrate, transmute, and end up in another dimension or space, time-space, without getting too heavily into the quantum mechanics or multidimensional particle physics or unified field physics, which a lot of this is. Which brings it all back to being a projector. Because different types have different types of auras. Projectors have a penetrating aura. So when I'm working with someone, say someone comes in and says, hey Josh, I've heard about what you do. You know, I have this issue, I have this health issue, or I've been stuck in this. And then boom, if it's an honest, sincere invitation and I accept it, meaning I'm willing to work with you or that person, then all of a sudden it just opens up the floodgates. I either get it visually, audibly, or I sense things, or I just get little bits and pieces of information that I convey to you, right? Or to the client, the person. And on top of that, I've collected a ton of resources over the years, decades. Now, the only thing that's constant on this planet is change, right? So what may be true today may not be tomorrow, next week, next year. So it's always being able to shift and not have to, regurgitate, recapitulate the same information all the time. And it's funny, a lot of times I watch a lot of amazing practitioners, people that are experts in their field of practice, and I see where I can dovetail, where I see, oh, this person would be great talking to this person, like Dr. Jack Cruz, for instance, who's a neurosurgeon, and he's putting together all these great things. And then I'm thinking, oh, he should talk to this person who's more in the multidimensional world. But someone that deals with very linear 3D practicality and wants tactile proof, evidence that this thing, this process, this theory exists, is real, is tangible, sometimes isn't. And to me, that's what I'm learning is, like, as a projector, I'm always using my mind. My mind is always confusing the shit out of me. I get a lot of ideas, but what really guides me is my emotions. Emotions, like Bruce Lee say, be like water, you know? Water is always flowing. But then I've learned things through my spiritual practice that water has been just so abused. It's conscious, but it's been abused over eons of time. Um, and so water is very permeable. It's influenced by human consciousness. And unfortunately, most humans, including myself until I learned this, it's just like talking to a tree. You can talk to all of this because this is all energy. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It's perpetual and eternal and just changes form. And that I learned in um, an education thing, energetically, spiritually, called Keylontic science, which is the science of light, sound, symbol codes, and the base codes of matter. Now, I am not a quantum physicist or anything like that. When I came across this work, I just had this strong draw and resonance. And this was another chapter in my life that opened me up to all these other things. Ever since I was young, little, growing up in primarily Southern California, I'd always been drawn to the mantic arts, spirituality, energy, channeling, the new age stuff. So, where am I going with all this? I have so much to share, but I found myself when I hear people talk, depending on where I'm at, I'm a group of friends or I'm at work and I have to conserve my energy. And if someone talks about health or wellness or something going on in the geopolitical arena, it's like sometimes I need to really be aware and be present of when I want to jump in and offer unsolicited information because no one is asking me. Not that I'm anybody special, right? But just because of my strategy and authority and the mechanics by which I need to operate within the matrix of things, this will help me conserve energy and really get the invitations and allow myself to be a guide, because that's what I am. I'm a guide. You want to call it a light, in the new age, light, whatever, way shower, whatever terms and words and cliches that we use to describe that. So yeah, it's quite it's like, I don't know if you can relate to this. Maybe you can. I'm sure you can. Someone out there can. But I'm just all over the place. It's finding that continuity, that consistency, and just being authentic and genuine. And I hope you pick up on that. I really do love to work and support other people while also earning a living for it, right? Like, I love to provide free information, but at some point when someone needs help to do it, to actually take action, that's what I charge for. And I'm good at what I do. I really am. When the right invitation shows up and that person's really willing to do the work, I'm not doing it for them. I'm merely guiding them, right? That's it. All I can promise you is an experience. I don't tell you how it's going to be, where it's going to be, when it's going to be. It's a co-creative endeavor. That's the cool thing, right? So that's what I want to get off my chest. I'm just sitting here. I'm reading some stuff from Ra Uru, about projectors, and just kind of inspired me um, to come on here and just talk. I need to talk. I need to get the information out from me and say what I need to say. So yeah, that's kind of what I got right now. And I just notice as a projector that, yeah, my mind is constantly going, and I need to feel, and I need to, because I have an open sacral, and I know I'm just dropping these things here randomly. And but that means I just don't know when to draw the line. Like, I can stay in front and read the computer or keep talking, and I have to really create boundaries for myself that will help me to conserve my energy, but also, again, get the right invitations. So yeah, that's it. That's my sort of rant chat. I don't know if this has provided any insight, support, help. I may post this on YouTube just for shits and giggles, see what kind of responses I get. pro and con. I know there'll be trolls. Dude, you're confused, man. You need psychological help. You're out there. Yeah, I am fucking out there. I'm totally out there. It's just that's who I am, and I love that about myself. So there you go, right? So, and then I can interject all the characters that I used to do when I did voiceover, right? Yeah, I used to do that too. I did voiceover, did animation voiceover for short stint for a year back in Los Angeles. So it's kind of cool to incorporate all these things, bring them all together and make it work for you. Boop, boopy doo. So I probably should put a link. So if someone did want to book a session with me, they probably could. I have like a link in bio through Beacons, for products. I didn't even get into the health and wellness products that I'm affiliated with. See, that's the other thing. That's a whole other area. I collaborate with companies that I really believe in, products that I use, products, protocols, services that I want to share with you. And the thing that I think I have to say that I don't know, I can't speak for other people. I feel that there's I need the monetization, the money, right? We all do. That's kind of how we exist here for the most part. I know there are people that travel around the world and they don't have money. They're able to barter or get, there's all different possibilities and ways of doing things. I don't think you can lock in and just believe that this is the one and only way, right? And I've had to deal with that on spiritually, physically, on so many levels. So, and I've been wrong a lot. That's how we learn, right? It's just you learn what works, what doesn't work, and so yep. All right, I'm gonna stop my rant now. I've been going for about 17 minutes, so there you have it. Hope you're having a great day. To be continued.